friends, this is Heidi here with Idaho Scrapbook Show. I've been doing a lot of playing with vinyl lately, and today I've made several decals, and I was going to show you what goes into making a decal. And actually this one is going to go on my machine, so I was going to show you how to place the decal onto the outside of a Cricut machine. What I have here is my iPad, and it has the design on it that I used, and I cut it out at 6.5 tall by 8 wide, and that's so that the decal can actually go over the top of the lid and then fold down and go partially to the front. So I used a holographic vinyl from Cricut. I don't know if you can see, this design is already cut out. It's a very intricate design. So the next step in this is weeding, and that means taking out all of the little pieces that I don't want in my design. And usually what I do is little blank corners like this, I will trim this out because there are smaller designs that can fit into something like that. And holographic vinyl is not cheap, so I don't like to waste it. And then I'm also going to cut off this edge. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back to start the weeding process. So what I have here is a light box, or this is the Cricut Bright Pad. And the whole point of it is to be able to see where the cut lines are easier so that I know where to weed. And so when I'm doing a project, especially as intricate as this one is, what I will do is keep the image in front of me, so I actually have my iPad in front of me with the image on it so that I can tell where I'm supposed to be taking pieces off and what's supposed to stay. I'm going to start this process. I'm not going to roll the video the entire time, but you'll get the idea here. And this takes patience, and sometimes I don't sit the entire time. You know, I'll work for a while and then I'll take a break, because this is easily gonna take an hour to weed. I'm also gonna turn off another light because I'm getting a lot of glare off of it. This isn't really exciting. But I'll do some of this, and then I'll come back so you can kind of see the progress that I'm making. And then I'll do the final application. Well, I'll do the transfer to the transfer paper, and then I'll do the final application onto my Cricut. Okay friends, I'm back, and as you can see, I have finished weeding this butterfly. So my next step is I need to put a piece of transfer tape over the top of this, because I have to take it off of this backing and make it into more of a sticker so it can be transferred to my machine. Okay, so I have my transfer tape down, and I'm just gonna start burnishing it. And that just means that you're pressing it onto your decal so that it'll pick it up. And as you can see, there are a couple of places that this doesn't cover. No big deal. You can put these on. You just want them to be covered. It doesn't really matter how you do it. And then there's one more corner up here that I need to cover, because once this lifts up, it's because it's overlapping with a larger piece, it's all going to be one big piece. So it doesn't matter that the original piece isn't the right size. Don't sweat the small stuff. All right. So I'm going to remove, this was just washi tape that I was using to hold my image down. Painter's tape works really well. You want something that has grit but not too much. Okay, so this is down, looks like. And I'm just going to test a corner. And holographic vinyl can be kind of tricky. Makes me wonder if I chose a strong enough transfer tape. We'll see if this gets it started. Sometimes you've got to kind of peel from the back. But this image is intricate enough that I don't just want to go for it. So this is going to take me a minute to lift this up. The key to something like this is just taking your time, because some of it's going to go down really nice and some of it's not. And the fact that it's not all connected into one image is going to make it a little bit more tricky. But you can see what I'm doing is I'm holding the transfer tape down and I'm pressing on it from the back. So I am going to continue to do that. I'm not going to make you watch this painful process because this is going to take a few minutes also. Okay, so as you can see, I've almost got this off the backing, and it's been just a process of putting my scraper on the back and pulling, and when something starts to lift up, I'll press it down and then pull again. But it just needs a little bit of resistance to keep everything on the transfer paper. So here's my design. Looks beautiful. Will look even better when it gets onto my machine. So now what I'm going to do is I need to take a cloth or a piece of tissue and use rubbing alcohol to clean off the top of my machine where I want the image to stick. So I'm going to grab that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol on a tissue, and I'm just going to wipe off the surface where I'm going to apply the image. And I've never done a decal where it goes across a seam, because this is where the lid opens. So this is going to be a new experience. So we're going to see, after I've done all this work, how well this goes. I'm going to take this and my little burnishing tool, and I'm going to kind of get an idea. There's just going to be a little bit that goes across that seam. So I'm going to start right about here. And you don't want to get in a hurry because you don't want a bunch of bubbles underneath your vinyl. And once I get it on, I usually will use my fingers to press it down. Once the transfer tape comes off, you don't want to use the burnishing tool directly on your vinyl because you will scratch it. And you will probably scratch your machine. So you want to press this on the best you can. With your tool. Okay, now I'm going to trim right now. Right at this seam. And I'm going to leave that little spot that's hanging over. But I'm going to take that off. so that I can press on this bit right here. And then like I said, this is an exercise in testing. I'm kind of experimenting here with that part anyway. So now when you take off transfer tape, you peel at an angle and from a corner diagonally. So you want to just kind of peel slowly. If you see anything coming up as you're peeling back the transfer tape, you just push it back down, burnish whatever it was you had coming up, and then continue. Now, I think there are many right ways to do this, but what I think I'm going to do, look how pretty this is. I love the holographic vinyl. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these with my scissors. This is holographic vinyl, how you weed it and apply it to a surface. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go to idahoscrapbookshow.com and subscribe to our newsletter. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening.